Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to episode number 2, in which we again wanna show the difference between Quily and the other support heroes which we are using right now on the tanks, like for example Mr. Snake Eyes or Asuka. In other words, in the episode of yesterday you saw me comparing Neely with Striker and Quily versus Neely, Striker and Brunhild, and this is one of the meta or alternative marches for the tanks because it's simply based on this magnetic pulse effect. And what we're gonna do today in this episode, we're gonna compare the results from yesterday, since the stats didn't change, with Poe with Striker and Snake Eyes, and we're also gonna add Poe and Striker plus Asuka, which is literally the other tank march alternative. Especially when it comes down to Poe, Striker and Asuka, these are 3 universal heroes which you can literally use anywhere for every unit type. So first of all, please let me explain you why have I chose exactly this setup. We need an offense buffing hero, and as of right now, of course, we can use Neely, we can use Gypsy, or we can use Poe, but we want to keep Neely aside just for this magnetic pulse meta of the tanks. So therefore, between Poe and Gypsy, yeah, Poe is slightly better than Gypsy. So from this perspective, I'm choosing Poe as an offense buffing hero. I would like to keep also Striker because we used him yesterday. And of course, together with Snake Eyes and the second tank alternative match, we're going to be Poe with Striker and Asuka. So of course, today's episode is brought to you by Mr. Roman from server 2216. To which I would like to give a massive shout out for the help with all this hero testing. And again, guys, please take in consideration, I'm extremely limited by River Game in doing hero testing. So therefore, we're gonna have 5 attacks for each March alternative. And we'd like to see the average March performance and recapitulate, of course, with the results from yesterday. So first of all, this is the first setup which we're gonna test today. Let's go into the attributes, and you want to see that I specifically put my Poe down to level 5. I have him at level 7, but this is a directly comparison to Neely in this position. Striker remained the same at level 5, and my Snake Eyes is either way level 5. And of course also for Mr. Roman, nothing absolutely changed. And we're literally using the same setup. You see the perks are there, and also you can see the same gear is there. So, you know what? Let's put all the battle reports, Poe, Striker, and Snake Eyes on the screen. So I think the best performance which I have reached with this setup is when I brought Mr. Roman's match all the way down to 55% units still left on his march. And the worst performance possible was when Mr. Roman still had 71% units left on his march. In other words, only from these 5 attacks, again, I would have loved to show you 40 battle reports, not quite possible right now. So from these 5 battle reports, we are reaching a march performance average of 61.6%. So let's go into the second setup which we are testing today, which is exactly this one. In other words, we took Snake Eyes out and we are actually using Asuka. And let's have a look again. Poe is with level 5, Striker remain with level 5, and Asuka has its her level 5 exclusive skill. Again, the gear is equipped, and you also see the perks are equipped and so on. And now versus the same opponent with the same setup. And now let's put all the battle reports on the screen. And here we see the best performance I have ever reached with Asuka is when I was able to take Mr. Roman's march all the way down to still 46% of units left in his march alive. And the worst performance possible was when Mr. Roman still had 60% of his units left alive. So that is bringing us to a March average performance, again, sadly, only 5 attacks, dear beautiful people, of 55.8%. Now, I really hope you guys watched the episode from yesterday, just in case you missed it. It's absolutely worth it to go have a look. But let's recapitulate in this episode these 4 alternative marches for the tanks in order to see is there a difference there, yes or no, especially because Mr. Quily is now introduced and it's a very interesting hero. So from yesterday's battle report, we had the average performance of the March from Neely with Striker and Quily. Also a quick side note is that all the heroes in my testing are exclusively with level 5 exclusive skill, not with level 7s. So in this March has reached an average performance of 49.6%. Then we had Neely with Striker and Brunhild, and that March has reached an average of 57.7%. Then in today's episode we had Paul with Striker and Mr. Snake Eyes, and this Army Alternative March has reached an average performance of 61.6%. And the last March alternative for tanks, which we tested also today, was Paul with Striker and Asuka, all with level 5 exclusive skill, and that brought us to 55.8% units still left on my opponent March. Now a quick side note here, super important, when it comes down to my opponent Mr. Roman from server 2216, is important that he uses literally the same setup, having the same stats, and also at the same time he is not that crazy stronger than I am. In other words, I don't want to have battle reports in which I'm literally killing 1 or 2 of his units. So that was an important factor why I picked Mr. Roman, on top of him being a fantastic person and a good friend. And the second very important piece of information is, in order to understand these numbers even better, means the lower the value you see here in percentage means automatically that that specific March has a higher performance overall. So right now, not just the tanks, but we also see this with the planes, while Navy still remains a chaos, by the way. Both of them, the tanks and the planes, have actually 2 alternative marches. One can be in which you are using heroes which are universal heroes, which won't perform the best versus the dedicated heroes, but you do have a positive aspect, meaning if you are in a process of building a march for all 3 of your unit type, you can take these heroes and actually use it on another unit type and have a very solid performance. So in other words, when it comes down to the tanks, this is exactly what I'm seeing right now. Among best march alternatives for the tanks, Mr. Paul with Striker, and either you are using Snake Eyes or Asuka, or you can go with these exclusive heroes for the tanks. And in the case of Paul, Striker and Asuka, all 3 heroes are universal heroes. We really always have to mention this. Or if you want the absolutely maximum performance, then yes, you will have to go with exclusive tank heroes. In this case, Neely, Striker and Quily, which will gonna give you indeed the maximum performance. But then again, these heroes only want to work on the tanks, and of course you can increase this mark performance, because yeah, one thing which is still in the game right now is of course the Titan gear, and here you have on top the magnetic pulses runes, which can amplify the performance of this alternative tank march with magnetic pulse to an even higher level. So anyways, beautiful people, this is the second episode on Mr. Quily. We're definitely gonna make some more tests, there is no question about it. As always, yeah, don't forget to support what supports you back, which is this channel and me personally since November 2022. So yes, please do me a favor, check if you are subscribed to this channel. If not, please do so, and also feel free to share this channel with your friends and also help them getting access to such high quality videos, hopefully, yeah. And as always, yeah, thank you very much for watching, people, and don't forget to see me in the next episode. Ciao, guys.